As part of its Énergie Saguenay natural gas liquefaction project, GNL Quebec has voluntarily called upon the International Reference Center for the Life Cycle of Products, Processes, and Services, the CREG, to conduct a life cycle analysis of the planned facility. A life cycle analysis is a scientific approach that is used to quantify the potential environmental impacts at every stage of a product's or service's life cycle for comparison purposes. With regards to the Énergie Saguenay project, this involves extraction of resources, pipeline transportation, liquefaction at the facility, marine shipping, use of gas, and the end-of-life management of the infrastructure. In life cycle analysis, time is not a parameter, meaning that for Énergie Saguenay, such an analysis considers that the entire project would have to be built overnight, including extraction, transportation, and processing, without considering the infrastructure and components that are already in place, such as roads, hydroelectric dams, and pipelines from Western Canada to the facility. Therefore, considering all the elements that go into the calculations, the direct and indirect GHG emissions account for 7.8 million metric tons per year. However, the direct emissions of the Énergie Saguenay liquefaction facility itself, which will only exist if the project moves forward, are in the order of 0.4 million metric tons per year. Those emissions will be accounted into the total GHG emissions of Quebec and Canada and represent about 5% of the upstream life cycle emissions. The remaining upstream emissions, the other 95%, are produced by natural gas production and processing operations, transportation, and hydroelectric power generation. Most of the GHG emissions that are considered into this exhaustive calculation currently occur or would occur whether the Énergie Saguenay project moves forward or not. GNL Quebec has committed to compensate its direct GHG emissions by building a carbon-neutral LNG facility. This will be the first infrastructure of this kind worldwide to reach this objective. Such an initiative will be achieved through concrete GHG offset measures that are currently being designed as part of a university research project. The GHG life cycle analysis confirms that the Énergie Saguenay project will position Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean and Quebec as frontrunners in the fight against climate change on a global scale. How? The cold climate of the Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean region and the use of clean, renewable hydroelectric power will allow to reduce GHG emissions by 84% compared to a similar facility located on the U.S. Gulf Coast. Also, because a part of the LNG produced at the facility will replace coal and other fossil fuels in Europe and Asia, Énergie Saguenay will contribute to reducing global GHG emissions by 28 million metric tons, which is equivalent to the emissions generated by the entire province of Quebec over a 3-year period, or taking 6 million vehicles off the road. Moreover, the final use of natural gas essentially emits no particles into the atmosphere. Therefore, the LNG produced here will also help curb air pollution and heavy smog that kill millions of people every year, mostly in Asian countries. The Énergie Saguenay project can be seen as a forward-thinking and sustainable project developed in the region and in partnership with the local population. It provides strong leverage in the fight against climate change on a global scale. Énergie Saguenay is a genuine example that economic development and environmental stewardship can work hand in hand in the 21st century.